Welcome everybody to Global Spec Racing Round 5 here at Silverstone, and qualifying is about to get underway. And we have a few drivers leaving the pits now. And we know what the weather's like today, Cookie?
Hey, it looks clear right now. Like you're looking at the racetrack right now. The sky is blue and everything's looking fine. So let's see. We have a couple people going on outlaps now, and I'm gonna choose Taco as the first driver we're following.
Well, since we're going to follow him for right now, let's talk about Red Bull. Both their drivers are at the top of the championship so far, but Figlin and I believe Borat are right on their tails. Do you think we have a chance for someone to upset them today? Figlin was looking pretty fast in practice.
Yeah, actually, it's for sure Figlin is fast. He has been very unlucky, right? However, and like not always getting the result he deserves. But really, the consistency that Taco and Kia have been showing here is what really got them to the top. Like there's a lot of really fast drivers there, but being fast is not the only thing. You also have to keep it on track.
It looks like Jesus is coming around to start his hot lap.
Taco is also really close. Okay, let's follow Jesus. You're right. Let's go. Where is he? There. All right. I'm on board with Jesus now.
On the first hairpin, keeping it tight, going wide for the next turn, taking an outside line. Coming down the Wellington straight, couple drivers in his way. Hopefully they don't hold him up.
That was close. He did go a little bit wide on those. Maybe they distracted him or something. He's definitely gonna lose a couple tenths here.
Looks like he got a pretty good exit. Coming onto the hangar straight. Up toward Cops. Let's see if he goes flat out.
No.
Oh, he drops down a little bit.
Yeah. He did slightly touch the brake on that.
Little slow. Coming on the chapel.
Yeah, this turn is really hard. So the way you have to take this, like the whole S's, the first two turns, you keep it flat out. And then on the third turn, you don't brake, but you do let go of the throttle. And then as you get to the fourth turn, that's when you really do all your braking. And you're back on the throttle as soon as, like almost as soon as you start braking, you let it go and you're back full throttle for the straight and the DRS zone. So this is a tricky corner to get right. And we got the first time, it's a 129.7.
It's a pretty respectable time. I think he can find a few more tenths around there. Up.
And there you go, gets beaten by Captain now. And then Babushka for 28, immediately beaten by these grills, 28.28. So the times are going lower and lower. Zeke and Pfeiffer setting slower times.
Looked like Zeke probably had an issue.
For sure, 151 is like, even if you're slow, that's not what you do. So there was a mistake for sure. I know Kia also made a mistake. We saw that briefly on stream, and he went directly into the pit, so didn't even finish his first lap.
Tack did the same exact thing.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. I said Kia, I meant Taco.
Okay.
Speaking of Kia, he's probably about to finish a lap here.
He's pulling onto the hangar straight right now.
ERS is at 3.
He's staying in 7th for the turn. Lifts a little.
That's...
coming up on a, what is that, a racing point up ahead?
Yep.
Nope, that's D's and a Toro Rosso. Holding him up.
Ooh. I mean, he did do this section a little bit slower. I don't know if... I think he got hold up for sure. But he's been doing his whole lap on the ERS 3, so I don't know. Oh, there you go.
Oh, he abandoned that lap, too.
Yeah, that's why.
Guess he wasn't happy with getting held up through Maggots and Beckett's.
Well, meanwhile, you were talking about Figlin. He just set the fastest lap by 3/10, beating these grills into first provisional pole right now. Alright, so I'm on board with Taco now, hoping to catch a good hot lap.
So like I was saying, I think Figlin has pretty good pace around here. I think if anyone's going to beat him, it's going to be one of the two Red Bulls.
Do not underestimate, there's also Borat, who's really fast. Zenacious is not bad either, so we have some really good competition for him, so even for Taco and Borat is a challenge.
What I like about Silverstone is it's a very long track, so it's one of the longer tracks, but it's also very fast. You spend a majority of the lap on full throttle.
Yeah.
And you really have to, it's very technical. You got to stick to your lines and hit your apexes just right.
He's gonna get held up. Oh no! Oh, Jesus sees it coming and doesn't hold him up. Right. It looks like he did get a little bit of a loss of downforce here because he went a tiny bit wide, missed the apex.
I think he did lift a little bit when he saw him in front of him, but that hopefully shouldn't hurt his time too much. We'll see what happens if he pits or not again. I think at this point he'll probably have to at least get something in the bank, or else he might run out of time and tires perhaps.
Keeping it tight here. Let's see. Does he go full throttle? Oof, I think he did.
He did, but
no.
The turn does slow you down a little bit.
He lifted.
Flat out.
He lifted half his throttle. He didn't keep the floor down, the foot down.
All right, very good line through Maggots, Beckles into Chapel, coming on the straight. Up into 8th. Should be a downshift into 6th. Follow the line, get back on the throttle, keep it tight.
Really easy to go wide on this turn.
Nails this apex, coming in the next. This little double right-hander here can really throw a lot of people out. A lot of people spin out here.
And there you go, fastest lap. Beats Figlin by 4/10. That's going to be the time to beat now. 27.5. Can we find someone else who's about to start a hot lap?
Looks like Jesus is on fresh tires. Might be on a hot lap.
Yeah, Jesus is already hot lapping. Yeah. Oh, he goes terribly wide here. Wide. He did not invalidate, however, so he still has a chance. And also, he went wide on a turn that, like, you have to set yourself up for turn 4 really here. So going wide on turn 3 is not the end of the world. You will lose a couple tenths, but improving his time from 29.7 is gonna be the important thing here.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty difficult. He's got to be absolutely perfect through the rest of the circuit. There he goes a little wide. No.
So this is a thing. I spent a bit of time in practice with Mr. Jesus, and oh my god, that was so close. I spent a lot of time in practice with Mr. Jesus to try to figure out that turn, and yeah, it's tricky, and he just changed the way he used to take it. So obviously this is gonna happen, but he needs to like really get on top of it, because now this is the race. This is the time to not fuck it up.
And Kia still yet to set a lap time. He is on fresh softs, but it looks like he's running lean mode, so I don't know if he's got enough fuel to take another hot lap at the end of this, or if he's going to have to pit again.
Is 1.4. No, he's going to have to pit.
And there he goes into the pits now.
Alright. Someone... Let's go check Neil. Neil is on out lap, so he's going to be starting a hot lap soon.
He's up in the top 5 right now. While we were talking, Borat now moved into second place with a 127.8.
Nice.
Dees is still riding his 128.2. And Figlin is still very comfortably in third place.
Yep. Figlin is now 1 lap. He's on an in lap. So that means he just finished a hot lap and wasn't able to improve his time. So Black Fox just started a hot lap. We're gonna be on board with him now. As I think was Mr. Jesus. No, it was Kriegs who just got out of the pit and it was really scary encounter here. Spins
oversteer.
Yeah, this is where you don't want. He lost so much speed here, and you can see he even went off throttle. That's it. He's gonna wait and reset and try for another hot lap. If you go back into the pit, you're gonna lose so much time. So you're just gonna try to conserve fuel and go for another hot lap at the end.
If you want to move back onto Figlin, he's coming through Maggots and Beckett's right now.
All right.
It looks like he's pushing pretty hard. A car up on the side, getting out of the way.
That's a weird place, but it worked. He
downshifted he goes into fifth on this turn.
Oh no. That's very okay. I hope he didn't do that on purpose, but there's a bug when you go wide on that turn that it won't consider you going off track, and it's considerably faster, like almost half a second faster. And
unfortunately, he does not improve on his time on that lap.
I'd say fortunately, because it would be pretty underhanded if he did. Two laps. Pfeiffer, Babushka are on 2 laps. Oh, Babushka is out of fuel, so that's going to be interesting to see who comes up to him.
Kia's coming up on the third sector in his out lap. He only got 5 minutes left in this session, and this is really all or nothing for him right now.
Oh, 5 minutes. Yeah, if he misses that, if he misses that, his only chance of doing another lap after is if he goes straight into the pit, or as soon as he sees that the lap is botched, he needs to tune everything down, fuel to low and ERS to minimum, and go for another lap. Or otherwise just succeed at his lap. That would be interesting though. Kia is currently the championship leader by 7 points, and for him not to set a lap in qualifying would be an incredible event. Like, as in, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it would really set him back. I know he's got the pace to move through the field, but it would be hard pressed for him to get a podium finish starting all the way from the back. He's coming on the hanger straight now. He's been looking pretty good so far. He lifts a little through Cops.
Yep.
Coming into Maggots. Stays tight. Into Beckett. Stays tight.
And there you go.
Pretty good.
You see, he only braked at the fourth turn.
Exactly. All Maggots and Beckett's is just throttle control and committing to the line.
Yep.
Comes in tight.
And there's a couple spots in this circuit where it catches people by surprise, because the faster you go, the more downforce you go, which means that some turns, if you take them a little bit too slow, you can't make the turn. But if you go faster, then suddenly you have enough downforce to actually make the turn. The turn 1 is one example of that.
That lap is only good enough to put him up into 8th place. If he can get his in-lap done pretty fast, he should have enough time to get an out-lap and cross a line before the time runs out.
Oh, wow. That's
going to
improve
on his time.
Though.
So far, we haven't had any major changes in the top 5. Tact is still the top, hasn't improved on his own time. But Borat looks like he
did improve
a bit.
Yeah, he's very close to Tact now. Well,
We're seeing about 1.7 seconds separating the top 10.
It's pretty widespread.
And Krieg has gone out on mediums.
Whoa.
I don't know if you think he can get a better lap on mediums and start on those instead and do a medium soft. Sometimes the strategy does end up working out.
Okay, so I just witnessed something. Borat cut a huge section of the track, probably to try to get to the end in time. I think he might be trying to go for another lap here. Like, he's he's absolutely flying everywhere, and I think he wants to try for another lap, but I don't think he's going to get it.
He comes into the pit at 137, and unfortunately Silverstone is one of the longest pit stops of the calendar.
Yeah, and we see the two Red Bulls that are stuck in the pit there, so Kia and Taco, it looks like it's the end for them. We have Van, who just started the hot lap. We're going to go on board with him. Oh, that's horrible. He completely missed the first turn, and that's going to be the end for Van. Let's see. D's is... what's that? 0 ERS, 2 point something fuel. Yeah, I think D's is going to be trying for another hot lap here.
Yeah, he should have enough time to make it to the line. Maybe he can move up into third. And he only needs to improve by what, 0.06 of a second? 0.07 of a second?
150.
Nope, sorry. Yeah, my math was backwards.
Yeah, 1.5 tenths. And he goes into the pit. That's the end for him. Van beats...
or not?
What?
Did he change his mind?
Yeah, maybe he just realized.
Yeah, looks like he's going for it.
Alright, so let's go. Let's follow these. There's a lot of people in the pits. Who to watch? Pfeiffer just finished. Alright, so Neil, Van, and Figlin are all on either hot laps or in laps. Oh, these missed.
Yeah.
Where is Neil? Yeah, Neil is on a hot lap. He's coming to the S's now. Oof, that was a really wide line here.
I don't know if maybe my telemetry is not syncing well, but it says to me he's on lean.
Nope, he is on 5.
Okay.
And he goes super wide and yeah.
The cheater's line. And yeah, he's
it's the end. He abandons. He was probably down on his time already, so Pfeiffer. Okay, Pfeiffer's going back in the pit. That's the end. That's everyone. We have the grid.
Right. A good time for Figlin. Takes pole position from Tact, the 127.5, just underneath. He beats out Tact by about 0.03 of a second.
Yep.
The surprise here is Kia all the way down in 9th place now. He's going to have a lot of work to do.
All right, I'm gonna go to the trailer now.
Welcome, race fans, to Round 5 Global Spec Racing Tier 1 Championship. We're here today at the historic Silverstone circuit, where it all started back in 1950. You're in for a great race as usual today on this clear day at the 18-turn, 5.9-kilometer track here in Northamptonshire. It's a long track, but also a fast one. We'll be looking for plenty of overtaking opportunities over the 26 laps of this historic circuit, coming down the 2 DRS straights into turn 6 and 15, as well as the Old Hanger Straight going flat out into Cops at turn 9.
All right. So here we are going to now the lobby, and people are loading in, and we're going to get ready for the race. I don't know if they turned off. There was a lot of talking about turning off formation lap because it's been causing problems for us in the past. So I don't know if they turned it on or off, but right now we're loading in and we're waiting for the players. Radical is first to load, so maybe he should get a championship point for that.
Yeah, I think there was an unofficial agreement to turn off the formation lap, but I don't know if that decision was made for sure yet.
Yeah.
Should be heading down to the grid in a few seconds here.
The loading. We have a few people left. Zen, Pfeiffer. Oh, there you go.
Oh, no. Okay.
We're on the grid now. This is a formation lap, so they didn't turn it off. So.
No, this is not the formation lap. That was the start of the race.
Oh,
so we're sorry about that.
What the hell? That was weird.
Well,
it started so fast. Well, Kubica, wow, Giga Kubica, Figlin's got already a 3-second lead on Taco. I don't know what happened here. No, it is a formation lap. It is a formation lap. You scared me.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. He's just taken off.
4 seconds lead on the formation lap. Let's go, Figlin.
He was in high engine mode and hot lap, and he was hauling ass. I thought he was taking off. All right, I stand corrected.
All right.
But he's going to get to the grid before everyone else. His tires are going to cool down a little bit. I hope he slows up and lets everyone catch up to him. And it looks like we had some issues. We're seeing Zen is stuck on the grid. So that's unfortunate for him, and Kriegs as well.
Zen and Kriegs. Let's hope it's not one of those bugs. Wait, I am? Okay, Zen is there. There's Kriegs. Okay. So now the cars are clipping through each other because they're at the end and the computer has taken control.
Oh, looks like a couple other guys hit themselves. Kia and Sid seem to have made contact during the formation lap, and they got reset to the grid as well.
All right, the grid is forming, and we're getting ready to start the race.
All right.
Hammer Time saying, pile up turn 1, there will be no survivors.
Well, turn one and 2 are taken flat out, so hopefully everybody stays safe going through there. Here we are getting ready for the lights.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Away.
And the race is on. It looks like Taco got a bad start. He's immediately going behind Figlin. Figlin already getting a big lead on the people. There's a braking zone, so they're going to catch back up. But oh my god, what the hell is happening here? Van Beets and Borat are canoodling on the racetrack. It looks like it was just a network glitch, though. They're back in track and they're following each other pretty close. Taco is 4 tenths behind Figlin already, and Figlin is going to be looking to build up a gap during those first 3 laps while the DRS is not enabled, because if you are 1 second ahead of your opponent, then he will not get that DRS and he will have a lot of trouble keeping up. Neil is already getting a gap build between him and Van Beets, oh, who is that? No, that is Borat going off track. It was hard to see what happened. I think he might have gotten thrown off or maybe oversteer and sent himself flying, but he is now 16th position.
And he's lost his right end plate in the process.
So that's gonna.
So he's going to have to struggle with that. Don't know if he'll pit in for a wing change and an early pit stop.
Let's see. Yeah, he he did not just the end plate. He did lose some aerodynamic surfaces, so he will probably be pitting and getting on the hards and trying to do a whole race on them. It's very easy to do a whole race on the hards on this track. And there's a bug here, I think, because Kia is already saying that he's 1 lap behind, so I have some interface bug, I'm gonna say here.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. It says he's more than a lap behind, but he's definitely not. He is following right behind these grills.
Yep.
Probably a couple tenths right now. The top 10 are very close to each other, all within a few tenths. But Figlin does look like he's pulling away. Taco's doing his best to stay on him.
But it looks like...
And yes, Borat has pit.
Yep, he's on the hards.
And he did go to the hards. So he's in this for the long haul.
Alright, so DRS is going to activate in a lap. There's a yellow flag sector 2 and 3. Is there anyone losing time?
Looks like Jesus is falling down the...
Oh, yep.
Looks like an issue with Mr. Jesus.
Doesn't look like he has damage. Probably just made a mistake.
And he has Pfeiffer behind him.
Oh, Pfeiffer just lost a bunch of positions, so he probably did a mistake as well.
Pfeiffer does have wing damage.
We're on lap 3 and Kia is on to a pass for these grills. He manages to pass these grills and just saves it. These grill tap gives him a little love tap in the back, and Kia is able to get the position here. And I'm not sure if there's DRS enabled right now. We're on lap 3. I think it is. We're gonna see that really soon.
They will get it when they come out of Maggots and Beckett's. And I think the time glitch has fixed itself now.
Yeah. There was a DRS zone just here, so and I think that's how Kia was able to overtake, but we're gonna see it now. And actually Kia might even overtake Neil. Yeah, there you go, DRS. Neil does have DRS as well, but Kia is able to overtake him. And let's see if... No, okay, Neil just settles in the back of Kia and gives a position back. There's no need to fight right now. It's the early race and there's plenty of opportunity to come. Maybe they have different strategies too, so Neil could win just from strategy alone. But Kia now is chasing Van Beets. We're going to go on board with Taco now. He's heading for the DRS zone with Figlin just 4 tenths in front of him. That's close enough. That DRS zone is really long. Gets a good exit here. It looks like Figlin spun a little bit, but I think that was just netcode. DRS is activated so fast that it doesn't even do the bip. And he
makes a move for the inside.
He's on the inside like there's collision, but Figlin has to give the position, otherwise they're going to both crash. Oh, that was a rough one.
That was definitely a dirty move, but sometimes we say rubbing is racing.
Yeah,
but if Figlin gets away without any damage.
Yeah, that's the important part, right? Really, he loses the position, but the only thing that will be damaged is his ego.
I just hope he can keep a calm demeanor and keep his head down and get that position back.
He got the DRS zone, so he will be able to keep up with Taco here and maybe get the DRS for the next big straight. 3-second penalty for Captain. He goes off track. I don't know if he got a warning here. He didn't. So a lot of people are doing this glitch. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but we're gonna have to have a talk after the race, huh? Ooh, actually I was gonna go to someone else, but I'm gonna go back to Figlin because he's below 3 tenths behind.
He is right on the back of Taka right now.
Yep.
Well, we're staying with Figlin for a bit. Borat is gaining a bit of time here and there. He's gone up a couple seconds in the lap, so he's recovering some of that. So we'll see how far up the grid he can move after the pit stops, which should be coming sometime from lap 10 to 14, depending on how long these guys want to take it. You can get away with a soft to medium here pretty easily. But if you overheat your tires too much, it's really going to limit your ability. The mediums will last quite a while around here, so we should look to see for some undercuts.
Alright, coming out of the S's, Kia is really close behind Van Beets and is definitely going to be going for a move here. ERS at 4, if DRS activated, most likely fuel rich, and there you go, he goes on the inside, passes Van Beets, and now Van Beets just takes the normal racing line while Kia tries to take the inside line to make sure he defends his overtake. Van Beets is not giving up, however, he's keeping within the below half a second, and let's see if he loses time or gains in the next sector here. He lifts through that, and he has the softs, and he still has to lift here, so that just tells you how heavy the car feels right now. He's losing a little bit of time, but he's still within the DRS range. He's going to get DRS on this main straight. He got a good exit, so he's. But Kia also did get a good exit, so it's going to be a really hard one. This DRS is only going to start to keep him close.
Looks like we have a battle for 8th between Dees and Black Fox. He's been consistently within a few tenths of him. I wonder if he'll make the move.
Following Black Fox now.
If he can keep it tight through the S's, he should get a good run on him in the DRS zone. He's pulling up, coming up to Chapel. Gets a DRS activation.
Let's see if he gets the pass. That's not going to be.
Must have his engine turned down right now because he is not gaining on him at all.
Oh, ERS dude, he goes for a launch, and actually no, these grills goes on, goes wide. But there you go. See what I mean? How much time these grills just gain by going wide here? Looks like he's slowing down a lot. Is he trying to let Black Fox pass? I don't think so. They're back on racing.
I don't think so. Yeah, that big green area off the end of I believe turn 15 there is.
Oh, and Tenacious goes for a pass on the inside of Neil, and Neil's forced to give the position. He didn't defend the entrance, and now they're on the main straight, and Neil actually almost loses another position. Babushka is behind him. He's going to get DRS. There you go. Babushka's DRS. He goes to engine mode 3. He's just going to keep up, so he doesn't go for the pass here. But Neil almost lost 2 positions here. He did lose one to Tenacious, though.
Well, Tenacious started in 10th place, and he's now up to 5th, so he's having a pretty good drive today. And all of these drivers here, let's say 4th through 8th, are staying on each other enough that we should see a bunch of position changes and a couple laps here before we start seeing anybody come in for a pit.
Yeah. Kia, after having trouble in qualifying, started 9th position and is now in 3rd. So Kia doing good as usual. I think that happens a lot, though. I feel like even in Tier 2, that's what happens. Kia does a qualifying lap on mediums and then proceeds to smoke everyone on the mediums, even though he starts in the midfield. We have Neil.
He does.
Oh, yep.
He does take the reverse strategy, going mediums to soft, and because you come out on those fresh softs and then you are low on fuel, fresh tires, faster tires than everyone around you, and with 14 to 16 laps. Well, at that point, it would probably be 10 to 12 laps in the race. You know, you can gain a second or a second and a half, depending on who you're driving, and you can definitely make up all those positions. But it is a lot more work at that point if you're further back in the field when you pit.
Right, Black Fox. We're on Black Fox again because he's really sticking to these grills, but and they're at the start of the lap now. They're good. Oh no, they're sorry, at the copes. They're going through the S's and they're gonna get to the DRS zone soon if he manages to keep straight. A little bit of brakes here, a little bit of brake here, goes to the right. Need all the traction he can get. DRS 4/10 to catch up before he can even attempt a pass, and he's got, oh, that's gonna have to be a lunge, and no, he doesn't go for it, just stays there, and by this time we still have 17 laps to go.
It doesn't appear that Black Fox is turning his engine up. Again, my telemetry stream is not syncing properly, so it still looks like he's on lean and no ERS, but I can see on his steering wheel he probably has about, I don't know, maybe 20 or 15% ERS left now, but he had a lot more before, and it was not draining as fast as you would see if he was in overtake or hot lap mode.
Yeah, your telemetry is definitely bugged, because when he was overtaking, I did see 3 and 4 flash on his HUD, on his little screen there. So right now he's still in 1, but so he's not gathering it back and actually losing time now to these grills. I think these grills have finally managed to break the DRS 1 second gap. Yeah, there you go. Black Fox goes horribly wide and tries to go in the old pit entry. And following Zanatius now, he's attacking his teammate. Going through the S's. DRS coming. He's keeping...
He moves up in the rich mix.
Yeah. So it's not entirely broken, your ERS, your telemetry. Oh, there you go.
No, it is not. It depends on the driver.
The pit strategies are starting.
Goes in for a pit stop at lap 10.
Yeah, so we're starting to see the pit strategies are gonna start coming alive. Loses a couple positions here. Black Fox, Sid Hart. Radical is really far behind, however, so he's not going to be losing the position here. And speaking of Radical, looks like Captain is catching up. Oh, what happened? Oh, wow, you're right. It's so long. Radical was 19 seconds behind at that point when we were looking, and still was able to overtake Van Beets. And Mr. Jesus is now caught in the middle of all those people who pitted already, and Neil is really pushing in the back. Neil's gonna get DRS and activates it again so fast that we don't even hear the beep.
Babushka has moved on to hard tires, so it's interesting from him. Borat is still back down in 15th, but he has gained about 8 seconds since we last checked in with him.
Yep. But what's interesting here is that Borat, every position he gains from now on is permanent, because he's not going to be pitting again.
Alright. Tact, Figlin, Zen, Dees, and Black Fox all go into the pit at the same time, and Kia stays out.
Alright. So we got 3 on the mediums. Let's see what Dees and Black Fox choose. It has to be the mediums. If they go on hards, that's going to be a mistake. There you go, mediums. Everyone's fitting the mediums now. Babushka, 3-second time penalty.
All right, Sid is now up into P2. That is not his net position. So if he can put in some good time here.
Net position right now would be Taco in first place. Wasn't Figlin in the front? Was there an overtake in the pits?
Yes, you are correct. There was.
And Van Beets. Looks like Van Beets has also, because he's 1 lap old where everyone is zeros, and that means he did manage to do an undercut here because he's in net third position right now.
Kia is now in the pits, and Sid is coming in as well.
So there you go, Kia is, yeah. Taco is going to gain back here.
Captain is coming in, and the next last to pit is Zeke, but he's on medium, so he's going to stay out for a few more laps.
Oh, these girls goes for the lunge of the century and actually spins himself out and loses another position. Oh, and it looks like he lost traction because he didn't follow the re-entry line here. He had to go on the gravel, loses so much. Black Fox just wins all those positions here because the Sid and Captain went into the pits. I'm gonna go on board with Kia. He's about to overtake Zeke. Zeke, who haven't pitted yet. He's 11 lap old. Yeah, there you go. Zeke started on the mediums, and this is not his net position. Kia goes on the inside, and they're racing each other, and they're trying really hard, and Zeke loses the position. Kia is now on the inside. He's definitely going to have to lift now and even brake a little. Zeke gets a little bit scared and makes sure that he's nowhere near Kia for that turn.
But if Zeke can stay behind Kia and get some slipstream, he can pull some extra time out and hopefully gain some net positions when he finally does pit. Yeah, again, sure. The pit lane at Silverstone is so long, it takes forever, and it's so slow that it's really important to make that time up on track.
Yeah, it looks like if Zeke pitted right now, he would end up somewhere near Borat,
who is now up to 13th, but still 10 positions down from his start. And he is gaining time on Rad, so he's moving up, so maybe he can pull a top 10 position out today.
Tenacious really close to Van Beets. Again, the rivalry here, the teammates are pretty evenly matched. We've been following each other for a while.
I wonder if they're using the same race strategy as the real-life Ferrari team.
You mean spin it?
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate year. I don't know what... Now, obviously, we don't know what goes through their heads. Obviously, Leclerc had a great rookie season, and it would be hard for multiple.
Van Beets is on DRS, and he's overtaking Zeeks, and there you go. He's past Zeeks. Zeeks is gonna have to try to go on the outside, and he takes the racing line, and now Van is in front, and there's nothing Zeke can do. He has to. Oh, actually, he does. He's gonna launch here. This is it. Zeeks is on the inside. Now Van is gonna get the inside for the next corner, but Zeeks is closing the door, and Van has to give the position. It's over, and actually, Zenacious is now lost a position over that. Wait, was Van or Zenacious in front? I don't know. They're both red.
I believe they are back in their original positions because Zenacious did take Zeke over for a little bit, but then he dropped back down.
Oh.
It was a very exciting third sector, but all for nothing, it appears.
Babushka is on the hards for 5 laps now. It looks like a mishap on strategy.
He pitted quite a while ago. It was
5 laps.
We didn't even notice.
Yeah. We're gonna go on board with Borat because he's really close to Radical right now. And they're just going out, and he got a really good exit. That's gonna be DRS. No, his ERS is almost empty. He's at 10%, but he still gives it everything he got. He's gonna try to outbrake him, does it, and he's in the inside. You can barely see him there, and there you go. The job is done. Radical loses the position, and Borat is now in 12th. He's getting closer and closer to the points.
Well, this is the time when those hard tires really start coming in. They take a few laps to really warm up properly and rubber in. And he's gained over a second and a half in this past lap. So if he keeps up this pace, he should definitely be in the top 10.
And Babushka just overtook Van Beets now. Van Beets is on the medium, and Babushka is on the hards, and was able to overtake in a traction, well, in a curve. So that's a really good job for Babushka here. Tenacious is really close to Zeke. He gets a poor exit. Zeke is going to be able to get away on this one, and this is not your time. Wait for next lap. And now Van Beets and Tenacious are separated by Babushka, so he's going to keep them from attacking each other and make sure they don't do a Ferrari of themselves.
Obviously, everybody, it's nice to get on the podium, and of course it's nice to get a win, but you don't want to you don't want to try and outrace your teammate to the point where you cause one of you to fall down. I'd rather have a very decent finish with my teammate than one of us be great and the other one be out of the race.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely the first rule is do not terminate your teammate.
Zeke is holding on very nicely, even with these older medium tires.
Yeah, but we have a nice train going on here, though.
Can you see his tire wear?
Let's see. I don't think so, no, but 15 laps old. Oof. Yeah, he started on those mediums, right?
Correct.
Yep, there you go.
You'd probably want to see him pit either this lap or the next and move on to those softs. If he can keep up this pace, he should be able to gain a few positions back on everyone else with 4 or 5 old lap mediums or more.
But seeing that 8 seconds gap, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Tenacious and Babushka and Van Beets are all being held up by him right now. He loses about like half a sec. He just lost half a second by the time I took to say all of this. So yeah, they're definitely being held up here, and they're gonna be happy when he goes to the pit.
All 3 of them behind him are trying to work their way around, but I think because they're contending with each other, they're not. If they were to leapfrog him and then the next one do the same thing, I think they could all get by him without too much of a headache.
But Tenacious just got a really good exit and now is able to overtake Zeke, and Zeke is going to be holding up only 2 people. And actually, Babushka even goes for the gap here. He's like, oh, thank you for opening the way, but actually misses because he goes on the grass. And now Zeke is like, yeah, you guys are fighting me too hard. I'm going to the pits.
We'll see what position he comes out in. I'm thinking somewhere, like you said, around Borat, most definitely.
Alright, he's getting out now, and Sid is on the pit, so I think they're going to come out around the same time here. Oh, Zeke gets overtaken by Borat in the pit. And there you go, he gets even overtaken by Radical. And that's it. Zeke comes back into 13th position, and Borat is up into 11th. So really good climbing back up the grid after this horrible mistake.
A yellow flag in sector 2-3. I don't know who that was or what it was for. I think right now this battle for 4th place is probably going to last through the end of the race. It'll be very interesting to watch. Babushka can make those hard tires work for him.
Kia sets the fastest lap at 1:30.9. Babushka is on the inside. He goes for the overtake on Zanatius, and Zanatius actually goes wide and forced to let the. But he's a little bit faster here. But Babushka has the inside line. Kia backs. Zanatius backs up and lets him get the position. But now he's going to have the RS for the straight that's coming, and he has the medium tires where Babushka has the hards. And now he goes for a really tight curve here, gets a really poor exit, and now that's going to be Van Beets trying to overtake Zanatius. Van Beets had a much better exit. They're both on the DRS, so it's going to be really hard. He goes on the inside. He has a little bit more speed here, and oh, he gets outbraked. Or no, Zanatius actually outbrakes himself and goes horribly wide to try to defend this position, and actually loses 2 positions. Black Fox is now in 6th. Incredible.
Yeah, Zanatius was losing 0.8 off of both of them, so I think it was only inevitable before they passed him, but unfortunate for him, he went too wide into the grass and let Black Fox by as well. And Black Fox did set a 132.2 last lap compared to Zanatius' 133.8, so he's flying through traffic right now.
Kia's fastest lap is 1 second faster than anyone else. And he just set it on the mediums.
6 lap old mediums.
Yeah.
Not even fresh ones.
Yep. What's happening? Neil and these girls. Oh, Neil is in the pits. Oh, Zanatius is coming on Black Fox now. It's the traction zone and actually gets a really good exit. Zanatius is going to get the position even before the DRS zone. There you go. Black Fox goes a little bit wide and they're fighting. No, Zanatius actually stays behind Black Fox because Black Fox also had the DRS and they're going to go back for another lap. Zanatius tries to go on the inside, but he doesn't have the speed here and he's going to have to tuck in and wait.
Looks like Neil went on to softs, drops down a few positions into 14th. The only driver to make 2 stops so far. But with 6.5 laps left in this race,
yeah, at this point
there shouldn't be any more.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, all the positions you're going to gain are going to be forever. You don't have to pit. You don't have to worry. The strategies are done, and this is what it ended up looking like.
Well, Borat is fighting with Sid right now for 9th. 17 lap hard tires, and he is still setting faster laps than everyone around him.
Sid is on the inside. Borat will manage. Yes, Sid goes tries to keep a really tight line, but then Borat uses all the track and more to be sure that he gets this position. Now he's going to try to be looking at building a gap and make sure he stays in that 9th position. That's where he's going to start getting good points now. Every position you get, the point gain is exponential. It's you gain 1 point for 10th and then 2 for 9th, and then as you go up, the gap between the position goes up higher and higher. So every effort he does here is going to have huge payoffs.
Well, he's setting about equal times with D's in front of him, so unless D's really starts to fall off towards the end, I think 9th is about as high as Borat can go, but he has set a very comfortable distance between himself and Sid, so I think he should be pretty comfy here. An unfortunate race for him, as he is a very fast driver.
As we could tell from the positions he was able to gain after getting to last position, after this mistake, he was able to climb back up and really make it worth. Now we have Black Fox who's attacking on Van Beets. He's on the inside and he's going to try to get the line. And then Van Beets actually has to give it. He goes wide and doesn't get the perfect racing line. He didn't defend the position and Black Fox takes it. And now Zenacious and Beets are fighting each other. Zenacious doesn't quite manage to get it. There's a little bit of lag. You can see Beets going backwards and forwards. But Zenacious is not giving up on the attack. He tried to go for the inside, but Van actually had more speed than him. So now they're in and they're going to be trying to keep within each other and fight again. So now Tenacious goes wide here and he's going to have to try to set himself up as best as he can for this straight. And Van Beets actually gets a much better exit here, so he's going to be getting away. Now Van Beets is on the attack on Black Fox and he's not going to get this, but he is able to catch back up and he's going to stay for the next DRS zone. Oh, looks like Neil is on fresh softs and about to overtake Radical. And other teammates fighting. There you go, he's on the inside and actually outbrakes Radical by a lot. Radical gives the position. He's on old mediums and where Neil is on fresh softs. There's no way he could fight this. And now Neil's going to be looking to attack Captain.
Neil is about a second and a half or more faster than the three drivers in front of him, so I mean, there's a lot of time separating them. I don't know if he'll be able to make it into the top 10.
Yeah. Right now he's really close to Captain, but after that it's going to be like a 3-second gaps that he'll have to make up to catch up to Zeke. And then he still has Sidhart and Borat if he wants to get into the point. And Borat is 12 seconds ahead of Sidhart, and Sidhart is 5 seconds ahead. So it's... yeah, oh, sorry, that's a mistake. In total, that's going to be 11 seconds that Neil has to make up within 4 laps. He has to be 2.6 seconds, 2.7 seconds faster. There you go, they're coming in the beginning of the lap, going the right-hander. Really high-speed corner here. Brake as soon as you see the curve happen. You don't have to take this corner perfectly, but you have to set yourself up for the 4th turn, and he does. There you go. They're really right on the tail of Captain, and they're going to get to the DRS zone. There you go. He is really low on energy, but it's he doesn't even go up. He's just going to use the ARS and try to outbrake him. He has the softs. He's confident. He knows he's going to get him. And the Captain is not even able to try to defend that. Now goes really wide on the next turn, and there you go. Position is taken. Neil is now in 12th. Zenacious still on the attack on Van Beets. Never quite able to take him, so Van Beets looks like he's just fast enough to be able to compensate for the DRS that Zenacious is constantly getting. Oh, Neil gets a 3-second penalty, so that's... you can definitely say bye-bye to the points now.
There haven't been, and Pfeiffer picks up a penalty as well. And there haven't been a lot of penalties this race, but they are definitely going to have an impact on a lot of these positions. So we'll have to see what happens at the end. I'm going to take a peek in the race director.
Yeah, I think there's more penalties than we caught, because I see that thing flashing at the bottom. I don't always mention it, but I've seen it flash several times.
So Borat has 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Van Beets for multiple warnings, a 3-second. Captain, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Captain picks up 2 3-second penalties. Black Fox also has a 3-second. Mr. Jesus with a 3-second. Neil, that 3-second. He got one earlier as well. And Zen has a 5-second for speeding. Babushka, 3 seconds. D's 3 seconds. Captain, another one. So there's going to be a lot of positions changing hands here, I think. So
yeah. So one thing that is interesting to mention...
picks up another one.
Oh. One thing that's interesting to mention here is that this season we've enabled manual pits. so you have to slow down before the pit entry. And we've been racing the whole time with assisted pit entry. So that means a lot of people are not actually used to slowing down. They don't necessarily know what the braking points for the pit lane is. And you can see that being like 5 seconds is a huge amount of time penalty to be given to someone, because that's usually the gap you end up having in the person in front when you at this level of racing.
I know for my race in Brazil, I had a 5 second for coming in a little hot to the pit, and thankfully Sahil had picked up an extra 3 second, which offset the time difference between the two of us. Or I apologize, Jordan picked up an extra 3 second, which offset the time penalty between us, which made the difference between a podium and not a podium for me. And this battle between the two Ferraris has been going on for quite a while now.
Still going on.
I wonder if they're just going to settle into the groove here coming into the final lap and just accept the positions. But
and there he goes, Zanetius is trying, he's going on the inside, and Beats is on the outside. They're following each other. Zanetius goes a little bit wide. Van actually went a little bit slower here. Is he going to try something? There's a huge lockup, and that's going to be it. The lockup is going to prevent him from re-attacking here. He's going to have to wait for the next DRS zone, and Zanetius must be so happy now that he finally passed his teammate. And even, it's really close to the end of the race. There's 2 laps left for them to go through the DRS zone, so if Van Beets only have a few opportunities to try to take over, and actually these grills from all that battling has been able to catch up, and it's all really close behind, and if they make a mistake, these grills is going to be able to capitalize and gain 2 positions here. So like, they really got to be careful and play together now. It's time to be teammates.
Well, while we're riding on board for the penultimate lap, who do you think is your driver of the day choice?
Oh, that's going to be a hard one. Let me check the positions gained.
I think personally I'll have to give it to Kia, even for his issues with qualifying. Even though they weren't his fault, he had some drivers in the way while he was attempting to make his laps. Starting in 9th and driving a very clean, steady race to move back up into podium position here. It was a great race by him.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Another good mention would be Zanetius now, who's gained a lot of positions and is actually about to be overtaken. Like, this honorable mention, I wouldn't give the driver of the day here, but it's like, it was really good performance from him. But I think I'm going to agree with you that Kia has driver of the day. So we're on board with Kia to watch his last lap. Here you go, driver of the day. Impress us.
Fastest lap, 6 positions recovered from a unusual qualifying position.
Yeah.
And fastest lap by far. I mean, 0.4 seconds between him and the next.
Goes really wide here.
Well, this has been a great race here at Silverstone today.
Taco is going to get to the finish line now. I'm going to follow him. And the last corner, don't spin it. There you go. Taco finishes. He actually sets the fastest lap on his last lap on the mediums. He probably kept his ERS the whole time for this. And there you go. Taco gets the fastest lap and first pole position. There you go, Kia. And you have Figlin in second position. And Kia takes the third position. And there are actually Pfeiffer and Kriegs got lapped here. So Pfeiffer is finished and Kriegs is going to finish very soon too. There you go. Kriegs crosses the finish line. Next is going to be Zanetius, who definitely deserves his 6th position here.
And now moves down to 7th due to time penalties.
Yep. that happens. But these, good job on these, on keeping really close and not making any mistakes, not making any crazy moves to try to overtake. He had a penalty, so there's someone who gets spun just at the end here, and Neil loses all those positions. Oh wow, that's gonna have to be that's gonna have to be a report here.
Oh, there's nothing worse than losing out right on the last lap. So close to home, and you just get tripped up. We'll have to see what happens there.
That was so unfortunate. And Captain looks like he gained the position here. That's what's happening.
And Mr. Jesus has decided to do donuts instead of crossing the line.
Was it on purpose? Yeah, it's on purpose. He's doing donuts.
Yeah, he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. Drivers in real life, after they cross the finish line, they can do this. But here in the game, if you want to do donuts at the end of the race, you have to do them before you cross the finish line. There you go. He had his fun.
Always entertaining. Always entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. So here we go. We have our full. Who was it again?
TactXO takes first place. Figlin in second, and the other Red Bull driver, Kia, with the sixth position recovery, takes third.
Figlin's best finish up to this day has been a third position, so now he's taking a second. So that means into race, next race is Canada. So is he going to get first? I think he really likes that track.
As like I was saying at the beginning, Figlin was very fast in practice, and he definitely put in a lot of work. And he's going to make a dent in the points. At least he'll bring himself closer. He's still a ways off, but it's definitely a good showing by him.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show the standings now. So we're gonna see the standings from last race, and they're going to be modified now. Kia was leading with 77 points, followed very closely by Taco at 70, and then in third position was Borat at 60. Figlin had 40 points, where he now got second place, so that means he's going to be increasing by 18. He's going to get to 58, so he's not going to move up in the championship here, but he's definitely closing the gap.
And that's definitely a much better result than previous. It was very, very good, consistent drive from him. So if you want, I will go see if some of our podium finishers want to come in for an interview.
Yeah, you do that, and meanwhile I'm going to try to see if I got... No, I didn't get the... I can't get the highlights of the race because I was just a spectator. They need to fix that. All right.
Well, we'll see what we can do in the future. I will be right back.
So go grab. Oh, all right. He's gone. Let's see who he's going to grab. The people are still there. They're probably really flustered after all that action that just happened. For sure, Neil is going to be very upset. And hey,
our race.
Hi.
Sorry to interrupt you, but our race winner is here with us, Mr. TactXO or Taco.
What's up, Taco?
Yeah.
You want to tell us how you feel about this?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I didn't. Like, I don't know if you guys got my pass on Figlin on stream, but I feel like we did touch a little bit. Hopefully, it wasn't too big of an incident. But yeah, after that, I kind of ran away with it. Had decent pace.
The one where you cut into him and then there was a bit of contact there. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. It was the first DRS zone.
It was a very bold maneuver, but you both came away unscathed.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There was no damage, and both of you didn't lose anything more. Like the only thing Figlin lost really is a little bit of ego here, and a bruised ego, and that's it. There was no, yeah. I think
I mean,
everything
he put
is
a
fine.
he put a monster lap in. I mean, he beat me by like I think 3 or 4 hundredths of a second in quali, so I didn't get it back for that.
Yeah, he was incredibly fast, and I had him posed to hopefully take this away from you guys, but you did a great job as usual. But I mean, rubbing is racing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Kia did a good job coming back from I think he started 8th or 9th. Coming
He
back
started
to
in
the-
9th. Yep, recovered
Yeah.
6 positions.
Yeah, so really good race from him.
Well, you know what
Good
they
result
say.
from the Red Bull boys.
If you see a gap and you don't go for it, you're not really racing.
Exactly. Hopefully Figlin
Things the
sees it
same.
like that as well.
Yeah.
All right, thank you
Well-
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go grab Figlin.
All right. So we're waiting for him to get Figlin. Figlin was 4th. Oh yeah, so we already talked about that. 40 points going up now to 58. And he's here. Hi, Figlin.
Hey.
Our pole sitter, but unfortunately second place finisher.
Yeah. Lack of
Why
faith.
don't you? Let's start off talking about that move with Tactexo coming in and giving you a bit of rub and kind of bullying his way through.
Yeah, I didn't really see it on my screen. Felt a lot of contact, but he said on his screen that it really wasn't any contact or anything. It was just kind of a rough move on his side, but I mean, I didn't get any damage from it or anything, so I don't think it was that bad, but you guys would have to tell me. I haven't seen it yet, so.
It definitely looked a lot worse, I think, than what it really was. You both came away without damage, so yeah, it was very bold and he really got the elbows out there, but you know, it was a good race between the two of you, and unfortunately that's all she wrote at that point.
Yeah, he just had crazy. I mean, it's Tact. He's had crazy race pace, just absolutely insane on that guy. I'm surprised I even got the pole in qualifying. Honestly, I thought I was going to come up maybe between him and Borat, but yeah, Kia though. Kia absolutely scared me coming up there at the end. He was just that fast, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, started in 9th and then just ripped his way through the field. But I think at a certain point, the tire wear probably caught up to him, and there was just no way he was going to make up the extra few seconds that last part of the race.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to, though. It's Kia, so.
Yeah, so that was a really congratulations for that second position. After all that bad luck you've had so far in this season, it must feel really good to be on the podium again. And you had a 3rd position in Russia. Now you have a 2nd position in England. So when's going to be the first?
Should have been Monaco. I'm not sure. Canada's next, and I'm decent at Canada, but I mean, Kia is very fast at Canada, and I'm sure Tact is as well. But no, keep pushing. Try to get one.
All right.
All right. Thanks much.
Thank you.
Who are we going to grab now?
And Kia is up next, of course, and then doesn't look
I'd
like
say Zanatius
Borat is
after?
online anymore. Yeah, we can talk to Zanatius, sure.
Yeah, just tell his... Yeah, so he left already, but... Yeah. I hope Tenacious doesn't go away so we can interview him.
Hi there.
Hey! So who do we have? Kia here. Oh, and Righteous is still in the free practice, so we're gonna wait for him to get back. But
Yep.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, I was just talking to Zen.
All right. Okay. Just making sure that Zen doesn't go away. We want to interview him, and also Neil. I'll be. Oh, right. Righteous. Can you also tell Neil to not go away?
Sure thing.
Quickly. Yeah, because we're really gonna have to interview Neil after that. For I don't know if you noticed, Kia, but at the end Neil got
I
spun
heard
up.
something happened.
Yeah.
I heard something happened on the last.
It was horrible. He lost several positions, at least 5, I'm gonna say, and in the last lap, in the last few corners, and he must have felt horrible here. All right.
I mean, Borat's fun and like second sector, right? I feel
Yeah.
bad for that guy, man.
All right.
So unfortunate.
So let's talk about you. How do you feel
Great.
about your third?
You know what? I'm sort of happy with it, and I know it's kind of shitty to be like, oh, just third place, but I really feel like I let myself down in qualifying. I could have qualified higher. I just couldn't string a lap together. I screwed up a few times, spun off, took some damage, and I ended up not having enough time to go for another run. But overall, I'm fairly happy with my race pace. Yeah.
It did look like during qualifying you might have had a few out or in lappers in front of you that might have slowed you down a bit. Was that accurate to say?
There were a few times where you have to call out for people to, scoot along, get out of the way. It wasn't, as bad as other sessions, but ultimately I don't think that's really what hindered being qualifying. I think it was just myself spinning.
It was definitely a very good race, and we both agreed for driver of the day for you, pulling 6 positions back up into the podium.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, like, I gotta hand it to that Racing Point. I came out just behind the Racing Point Zeke. He was on 10-lap old mediums. I guess he had a first-lap collision or something. And I got past him in, like, a sector and a half or something. And then he proceeded to hold up the Ferraris behind me for, like, 6 or 7 laps, so that was nice.
Yes, there was
kept looking at my scoreboard and kept seeing, oh, Zeke's still there, okay. Slowly pulling the gap, backing them up. That's great.
Yeah.
So Zeke actually started on those mediums, and yeah, he was holding up the 2 Ferraris, and I believe Babushka as well. We're all fighting with each other to try and get by him the whole time, and yeah, we definitely noticed that he was holding them back from catching you. So
yeah, I feel like I had the perfect mix kind of by accident for my setup. I accidentally had my qualifying diff on, so a few clicks higher just for earlier release and better grip, like outright traction. And I didn't reset it for the race, so I was taken out on the formation lap, unfortunately, and I just completely blanked on it. And then, by the time I pitted, I had to go 1 extra, so we didn't double stack with my teammate. And so I went an extra lap, and I pull into the pits, and I check my tire, and it's like, oh, fuck, it's 70%. Like, that could have been bad.
Wow.
So I knocked down my diff, and then the second stint just went a lot easier, because I had more control of the car and everything.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
very
It's
good
an honor
race.
to be selected for driver of the day.
All right. Let's go to. Oh, Zanatius looks like he left now, so it looks like we're gonna be directly to Neil.
He refused to comment. So
All right. Well, for someone who was so close to getting driver of the day, I'm surprised. All right.
we'll have to get him later. I'm gonna go grab Neil.
All right. I'll wait. Neil. So Neil his McLaren had 18 points and had some pretty good finishes. 8 points in each of the last 2 races. So he's gonna have to be really salty right now. Hi Neil, how are you feeling? Tell us what happened.
I'm not terribly salty, if I'm honest. Realistically, I tried my best, in quotation marks, you could say, for this track. Well, it's not my strongest track, but also, the moves that I did, like such as the second pit stop, probably wasn't the smartest thing, but I felt my tires in the back were pretty much being ruined by myself, because I'm very much heavy using my tires in the back. But otherwise, once I hit like 35% with 8 laps left on the mediums, I kind of made the decision to go onto the softs.
All right. And what about that last lap? What happened between you and Borat? Was his Borat, is it?
That last lap, I tried to get up on Zeke and Borat as much as possible, and then when I saw Borat basically spin or skate before the S's, I was pretty much in my head went, you kind of have to go for it. So basically in the last corner, or not last corner, it was the third last corner.
Yeah.
I went into that, trying to basically dive bomb Zeke and basically take the position of Zeke, and then in the last corner, possibly take over Borat on the line. But Zeke also had the idea of dive bombing Borat, so I was like, I have nowhere else to go, so I'm going to brake as hard as possible. And I just went into Borat, which thankfully didn't affect him or Zeke at all. It just affected me, which I'm more than happy to have that as the race result instead of me hitting someone else out.
All right. Well, so for 1 second, we thought that you might have been taken out, and we were looking at you losing positions, and we were panicking and going like, "Oh my God, Neil's going to be so angry here."
No, it was pretty much like a move that I tried to get, and all of a sudden it didn't work out for me. But hey, that stuff happens, and I'm looking forward to a stronger race next week at Canada.
Hey, you see a gap and you have to go for it, man.
Exactly. If I don't, then what's the point of racing?
Exactly. Well, thank you very much, and
No problem.
And better lucks next time.
Thank you guys for commentating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So next race is going to be Canada, huh? Eh?
Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Canadian and I didn't even do it right, you know. So.
Canada is a great track. I love it. It's very fast. When you really nail it around there, it feels really good. There's plenty of overtaking to happen there. So again, should be pretty exciting.
There's a lot of hard braking zone. There's more than a couple of chicanes. I think there's 3 chicanes in that track. One of them is really fast, fast right left. Then there's a really slow left right, and then there's a kind. It's not really a chicane, but the Senna turn at turn 1 and 2. That's another really hard braking zone and really good overtaking opportunity. And just before the finish line, there's another chicane. There's so much overtaking opportunities for F1 cars that rely on DRS for overtake here. So this is going to be a really interesting race. Hopefully people are able to stay within DRS range and give us an exciting race.
So almost the Monza of North America.
Yeah, pretty much. So that race is going to be next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to tune in for that. You can subscribe to the channel, not subscribe, follow the channel. What's the term?
It's follow on Twitch.
Yeah. So just follow us on Twitch, and you'll get an email if you're set up to receive emails. You'll get a notification when we start streaming again. And you might also want to watch the Tier 2 races. People are a little bit more hectic there, and there's a lot more risks that are being taken, so you can get some different kind of racing. This is going to be at Sunday at 9 p.m. EST.
And we will be racing at Suzuka, so there is plenty of opportunities for some wild action to happen there.
Yeah, so Suzuka is one crazy track because there's a lot of turns, and especially in Tier 2 where people love sending it on the inside. That's going to be interesting to see people driving side by side in the S's, or that really fast left kink where you really don't want to be too wide, but people do it. So yeah, I'm predicting a couple of DNFs in that Suzuka track.
I'm sure that there will be some modicum of chaos there, if not only through the S's, definitely through Dunlop, as well as the... Dunlop is really the worst. A lot of people spin out there, but definitely through turn 1 is... It can be quite a pain. That's why there's so much runoff there at the top. Yeah,
for sure. Turn 1 is a really fast turn, and it's coming off of a moderate straight, so it's like you don't necessarily have to brake a lot, but there's it's so easy to see the inside line and go like, oh, I could really get in that position. But then you're going to a really fast corner where people are trying to brake just enough and just have really racing on the edge of the traction of the car. So it's you got to be confident if you're going for that move.
Well, I will see you out there on Sunday, and I hope the best for you. I hope a good result as last week, good consistent result from you, and with the reports that came in from this past Sunday, I've been knocked out of the top 4 now, so I really have a lot of fighting to do to try and get back in.
Well, I'm in the midfield, so all I have to do is catch up. But I hope that we'll get a chance to get some good battles again versus you. I know in what was it, Brazil, we had some really interesting fighting on the last half of the race. So I look forward.
As well. Well, this has been wonderful.
And this has been GSR. I'm Cookie.
And I'm Righteous Fire.
Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to be there next time.
Take care.